thank you for joining us. To get us started, please, your thoughts on tonight's match.
Yeah, great win, great performance, very comprehensive on both sides of the ball. Going into the game, we talked about having 11 games to go, and every game's going to be like a cup final for us. And obviously, it's great to get the 3 points on the road in the first one. We got 10 more to go. Obviously, very pleased, but it gets tougher next week, so we got to rest, get back to work just as hard or harder next week, and throw ourselves again into the next game.
We'll go now to Frank DeLappa and then to Hayden Bird. Go ahead, Frank.
Great, Caleb. That was Carlos's first game in a while. So I assume that substitution was programmed. And how did he come out of this game and talk about his performance?
Yeah, that was programmed. We knew he'd have to come out around the 70-minute mark. We knew obviously Giacomo, Luca Langoni, and Dylan Barrero had about 30 minutes in them. Obviously, in the first half, when we burned a sub, we had to be smart with now the two sub moments. So that's why we kind of bled, the two and kind of waited a little bit on the next two. Probably would have gotten guys in a little bit earlier if that wasn't the case, but it's great. Obviously, the way we started the game was excellent. Bobby Wood getting another couple goals, and then, I thought we just, took the game over in the second half, and, the guys that came in off the bench, great for Giacomo to get a goal, Luca to get a goal and assist. Ian Harks, I think, got an assist or maybe two. Dylan got an assist, so. It reminds me of back when we won 4 games in a row and 5 of 6. We're picking up right where we left off, and I don't think it's a coincidence that it's the first game back since Cincinnati that Carlos is back in. It's a whole different, feel when he plays for us.
Next, we'll go to Hayden Bird. Hayden, go ahead.
Hey, Caleb, congrats on the win. I know it's easy to kind of focus on, some of the goals you guys scored, and rightfully so, but also, you got the clean sheet tonight, and it seemed like defensively you guys were effective at creating turnovers, and that led to some of the offense. I guess, kind of what were your thoughts on that part of the performance?
Yeah, I think we're good when we're aggressive and we press high. You saw second half, the moments we sat in a little too deep, we weren't quite as good. So, we got to stay aggressive. I like that we got the clean sheet, but we did it, pressing high and, like you said, creating turnovers, and I thought the back four did a really good job. Obviously, Brandon gets the assist, has to come out. Nick Lima comes in, does a nice job, gets the goal. Obviously, Peyton gets injured last week. Will Sand steps in. I thought he was honestly one of the best players today. Very steady, both sides of the ball. I thought Xavi and Dave Romney and Ali were excellent as well. And Ali made a couple really big saves early in the game that we won't forget about. That could have changed certainly the way the game went. So those are big saves out of him, and it was definitely our most complete performance. But we have to keep our highs low. I always believe that, keep your highs low and your lows high, and this is one we have to stay grounded. And the guys definitely will gain some confidence from this, but we got 10 more games to go, so we've got a lot of work to do.
Hayden, you have a follow-up?
Yeah, and just a quick follow-up. You mentioned Brandon. I know it's early. Is there any update on him, like how serious that injury might be?
I think it's an ankle sprain, so I don't think it's too serious, but we'll evaluate it. He's probably out, for a week or two. I would guess, just looking at it, but I don't think it's too serious where he's going to be out too long.
Next, we'll go to Sam Minton and then Nick Boonstra. Sam.
Hello, Caleb. Again, congrats on the win. Just kind of wanted to get your thoughts on Dylan Barrero's performance. Again, another player who's been out for quite some time. Just overall, what did you see from him in those limited minutes?
Yeah, special player. Becomes kind of our second playmaker. When I like to shape my teams, I like a stretch guy and a pocket guy. And, again, when we had that good run of form where we won 4 games in a row, Dylan was in. So I don't think it's a coincidence when him and Carlos left, we weren't quite as fluid. We hung in, we hung around, we did it in different ways. We got a few draws, a win in the Leagues Cup, but you can see our level today. That's that's what we want it to look like and better. You know, we're just scratching the surface. We got to keep pushing and stay really hungry. And this is one that, you know, we don't have time to celebrate on and get ahead of ourselves. You know, we got to go back to work and work even harder next week. We got a very difficult game against Salt Lake on the road.
Okay, next we'll go to Nick and then to Seth. Go ahead, Nick.
Hey, Coach. Again, congrats on the big win. This is the team's first win this season in the league by multiple goals. How important do you think it was just that the team kept pushing after that first goal?
Yeah, that's what I want. You know, I want early goals. I want, you know, in a lot of ways, when you look at some of the wins we had, we scored 2 goals in the first half in a lot of those games, and then obviously in some cases we conceded to go 2-1, or, you know, Vancouver we conceded to go 3-2. So that's still an evolution for me. I thought there were periods in the second half where we still kind of fell in. I don't like that. I don't want that. You know, obviously last 5 minutes, if it's a 1-0 margin, then different story. You know, people don't want you to bunker. No one tries to bunker, but when a team's throwing the kitchen sink at you and throwing numbers, you're forced to bunker. But I don't want to see my team bunker up 1 goal or 2 goals. I want to see us go for the jugular. I want to see us get that 3rd goal, 4th goal, stick the knife in and turn it. You know, put the game to bed, and I thought we did that in the second half. A big part of that was the guys coming in off the bench, the quality of Carlos Heel, and, you know, obviously Dylan and Luca and Giacomo coming into the game, you know, just took our group to a whole nother level.
Okay, we'll take one more question. We'll go to Seth McCumber. Seth?
Hey, Coach, congratulations on the win. Thoughts on Luca Langoni's debut, obviously a pretty dream debut, and you mentioned Payne Miller's injured. Can you tell us a little bit more about that too?
Yeah, Peyton rolled his ankle. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday last week. So we put Will right in. You know, we knew we would be very covered with those 2 guys. I said it with Peyton and Will. We have a lot of confidence in them, and I think, you know, everybody saw today, you know, why we traded for Will. He's a very good player. He's very well-rounded, very complete, good defender, good keeping the ball, and good going forward. So, you know, Peyton, we'll see where he's at. We're hopeful he'll be available next week, but obviously, as I told my team last week, the audition for parts is going to be every week, and guys got to earn jobs. So it's going to be tough to keep Will out with the performance he had today. But Peyton Miller, he's a very talented player, young player, and his upside is as good as you're going to see. So, but guys still need to earn their jobs, you know, and that's what's raising our level right now, is because every single guy has to perform in training and in the games. They know that, and when you start to create that kind of, you know, best versus best, iron sharpens iron, then, you know, the level goes up in your team. You saw that today.
Great. Thank you very much, Caleb.
All right, thanks, guys. Yes.